Hi, welcome to the next episode of my property project diaries. My YouTube vlog is a warts and all account of what I'm doing in property. I'm not trying to build up a brand, I'm not trying to be a deal sourcer and try and convince people to give me money to invest. So I can be quite candid, I can tell you the true story. I don't need to polish up into kind of marketing speak and ignore the failures. And that means that I can tell you this story because this is about this story. In this vlog, I'm going to tell you about the property deal that I have just pulled out of. So let's we'll head up to the park. Let's go and find a quiet place, and I can let you know what happened. Okay, welcome to my local park. So the property I'm talking about was up in Nottingham, in an area called Bulwell, which is a very nice area. I'm really getting to know Nottingham very well. I know the different areas, different suburbs. I know the prices of the properties in the different areas, and I know the rental prices. And I found a property which would work well as a single let. It was a two bedroom. And so I put an offer on it. So it was good. It took a while. There was a tenant in the property when I got it. And I'm in the Samuel Leeds Academy. You can use their service Rate My Deal, where it will be rated. And when I put it in front of Sue from the Academy, she looked at it and it's like, it was an okay deal, not good enough for someone in the Academy, but it was kind of an okay deal. And the phrase she used was, if one of her friends who didn't know anything about property found this and asked her for her advice, she'd say it was a good deal. Now the thing is, I've been in the Academy, it's coming up to 2 years now, and I still haven't found that investment. And I've been looking at a lot. This was the best in the pile that I had, and I've got a big pile. I've been looking at, I must have viewed 40 or 50 properties in Nottingham now, all around Nottingham, all different types, all different areas. There's lots of problems on the way. I don't think you really need to know the story of all the problems. I got a solicitor, got a survey done on a property. It took ages to get the survey, but the survey came back and there was problems with the property, and problems which problems with damp, and the seller said they've put in a damp-proof course onto the property, but there were problems which were flagged. Some problems were flagged as serious, which I call level 3 on a RIC survey, and some problems were level 2, which is needs attention. The thing about some of the problems, if you've got damp in your property, it's not going to get better. You need to do work to fix it. You don't just leave damp alone and the property gets better over time. What happens is your property deteriorates, and what is a 2 becomes a level 3. So I thought, you know what, I need to find builders, find people, and I got multiple quotes. I think I got, for the seller, I got about 3 people quoting with different things to do. But I ended up getting costs of about £9,000 extra, which was unexpected. The whole deal, which was, by the way, a good deal, not a great deal anyway, it was looking like, well, with these £9,000 worth of costs, only very, very slightly better than putting the money in the bank. And even then, that doesn't count for void periods and things like that. And I had the letting agents. So one of the things in Nottingham I'm doing is I'm building up contacts. So I've got contacts with builders now, and I've got definite contacts with letting agents who are, every time I find a property, I'm sending it to multiple letting agents and saying, hey, what do you think of this property? How will it market? The letting agent came to the property and looked at it and said, you know what, the back bedroom, it's smaller than I thought. So he also downgraded the rent. I thought, okay, this is what everyone says. In property or in all the training, one of the things they say is you get a survey and you can use that survey to negotiate, because I made an offer on a property which had a tenant in it when I offered on it. So the tenant moved out during the selling process, but I made an offer based on a the quality was good enough to rent out. You know, would I be happy having a tenant in a damp house? And I don't care whether it's legal or not, but no, I'm going to own the house, and you know, I want tenants in properties that I rent out to have great conditions to live. Anyway, I went back to negotiate. I actually took some advice from the academy about negotiation methods and tactics, and the agents will say what they need to say to try and get you to negotiate, well, to basically accept the highest price for the seller, which of course that's what they're paid for. And you've got to really make it clear that, you know, this is your bottom line. You've got to say, you know, I'm going to walk away if you're not able to reduce the price by this amount. You know, it was £9,000 costs, and I figured I'm going to be, even if I got a reduction of about £3,500, I would lose money. But I thought, you know what, I'll still go forward with it, because, you know, it's my first property. I get one under my belt. Probably not a great business decision, but if they reduce by 3.5, I will proceed. But no dice. No, and they phoned back. The agent tried a couple of times with the seller. They wanted me to, well, they weren't. There was no budge, no reduction at all. The fact that like serious issues came up in the survey, they were like, no, we're not interested. You know what? I think the right decision here is to walk away, and that's what I did. I'll find myself a different bench for the next part of the video. So yeah, I mean, it does feel like a bit of a punch in the gut. Yes, I lose money. I lose the money I paid the solicitor, money I paid the survey, and also because I'm buying in a business, I paid another solicitor even more money. It's because he had to give me independent advice. So 2-3K is probably what I lost, but at the end of the day, I was going to lose even more if I continued. I think with property, you make an offer, you do investigations. This is the advantage of not buying an auction. When you buy an auction, you're stuck with what you've got. But when you've got the chance, you're working out, and if it turns out that it didn't fit the spec you had, there's no point buying a property saying, oh, I don't want to lose the solicitor fee, and every month just lose money every single month, constantly, for as long as you own the property. So yeah, the due diligence process has its course. But no, it does feel pretty much, it's very disappointing. Once I made the offer, I was 100% trying to find every way to make the project work. I spoke to other builders. Shout out to Dale from the Academy. I don't know if you watch this, but Dale was really busy. He's read over the survey for me, and I had a call with him and basically went through all the quotes. So, you know, are these quotes reasonable? Am I being overquoted by the builders? What about, you know, am I asking for works that shouldn't be needed? So because of that, I'm pretty confident that, you know, it was the right decision. So I told you this is a warts and all vlog. No smashing success, no, that's a banging deal, making £10,000 a month. This isn't Samuel Leeds Winners on a Wednesday. This is Robert's real story about what's happening and how I'm getting on with the academy, which hopefully it's what I would want to watch. So I'm coming up to 2 years since I joined the academy. 2 years, actually, if you go back on this YouTube channel, you'll see my first Instagram style video. So the question is, what now? Am I going to give up? And there's not really any hesitation. I'm not giving up. It's 2 years in the academy. Am I going to continue and have a third year in the academy? When I've joined, I did not think after year one that I wouldn't have a deal, let alone after year two. Now, the thing is, there's kind of no question. I have hit the ground running. The day after I made the decision to pull out, I was looking back at, I've got my property pipeline builder. I've got a lot of properties in there. I can go back at all the viewings that I've already done, and also back to Rightmove, back to my sources of getting potential properties and searching. Now, I've widened my search a little bit now. One of the letting agents, the one who actually came to the property, I've kind of got a good relationship with. He gives me really great advice on the types of property that will let out well. He actually sent me a couple of flats, and he said, have you looked at flats? Now, I generally haven't been looking at flats. I don't like the idea, one is the service charge and two is the flat management company. Actually, a couple of the flats, when I've done the numbers, look better than the property which I've just withdrawn on even beforehand. So that is one definite possibility. So I'm straight back to Nottingham. I'm straight looking at more deals, more potentials. I've got another 2 viewings and one lined up, but I might get a few more viewings because I've widened my strategy. Suddenly a whole new set of potential properties come into my shortlist criteria. So that's the story. It's not, I guess, it's not just the story of that property, but the where I'm at, a good update of where I am with the Academy, where I'm with the update. I'm going to post this video onto my YouTube. I know there's a few people from the Academy that watch it. And if anyone's following on the story, that's where I am. Keep watching this channel because I'm going to, you know what, there's a video that I'm going to make when a deal's gone through, because a deal is going to go through. When I get a property, I'm going to give you a tour of a property that I have owned. It's a very small thing. People in the Academy own hundreds of properties. It's nothing to them. For me, it'll be a really, really big achievement, and it's going to happen. You're going to see it on this YouTube channel. So if you want to see that, there's a subscribe button you can press, and that's the end of this one. I'm going to walk around the park one more time, touch grass, I think the expression is. I'm going to touch grass, and then I'm getting back. I'm going to boot up Property Pipeline Builder. I'm doing a webinar for some people later on today, and I'm going to be finding that property, getting myself to the point where I'm going to be showing you guys around my first rental property that I've got. Thanks for watching. Bye.